I want to say hello to everyone. And um, so when I was recording the videos um, after the Christmas videos, I started hearing things that was related to my dad. Um, and this spirit was like, get him, you know. And I'm like, finally, I started thinking because he started like really talking to me, and so I started asking him questions who he was because he was older, skinnier, and younger. So but I had a sense he was an older person, but he looked younger. And his head was white as snow, but he wouldn't show himself. But the anger he had was not normal, and that had nothing to do with me. And I had to put it in its place and told him, um, you have an issue, you take it up with my dad, you know. Because usually, if there's a situation with my dad, he makes everybody aware that somebody had a problem with him. And one of his siblings, I was visiting um, in that state, and he asked me why I was there. But he treated me very badly, and he would never, ever in a million years. I never thought he would ever treat me like that. But I didn't know where the animosity was coming from. But he's still alive. But he has children of his own, and my dad would never, ever attack any of his children. You know, I mean, he didn't tell me what the issue was with my dad, and I didn't know what it was at all. I just thought the guy was having a bad day. But I was surprised because he named me, and he treated me with animosity. Strange. But then I found out a year later, when I went back here, my dad told me what happened. So my dad's always made that real clear. Anyone's ever had a problem with him, you know, he's upfront about it. So I just thought it was strange that this spirit was coming out of nowhere to um, to make his presence known. But he wanted to be mean and cruel. But it had nothing to do with me. I'm not talking about that. Um, so the point of talking about this is that it wouldn't leave me alone. Like it's been bugging me for days since Christmas, and it just wouldn't leave my side. It would, you know. And I'm like, so I was asking Father if I should create a video. So I created one last night, but it still didn't feel right to say anything. So I said, this is definitely coming from God. He will let me know because He has a way how He shows me. And so I wanted to talk about it because you know how people do things that you think, God, why is somebody acting like that? It's not normal for them. You may want to pray for them. You know, ask the Lord to remove or expose. That's something may be attached to them. You can ask the person that is experiencing. I mean, you know what you're seeing that's not normal from a person. Ask the Lord to open their eyes, and so they can see what's going on around them. Because I'm hoping that maybe somebody was praying for me, um, but I know right from wrong, and I also know um, this spirit had a personal vendetta toward my dad. So I don't even know what it's about. I want to know too how they know I can see them. You know, is there a light up there that shows go to her? You know what I mean? Because all the mediums that are on the earth give accurate information. You know, I wonder if they ever wonder. You know, I don't consider myself a well, I guess God does. But the other thing too, because he keeps showing me. So during this whole episode from work, started getting a lot of visitors, and I have a cousin who passed away a couple months ago, and um, you know, thinking about it, 'cause I hadn't seen him in years. It was weird. But so one night I came home late, and I come in and I get ready for bed, and I'm laying there, and I hear these footsteps coming up the hallway, and so I yell out, you know, are you home? Um, but the dogs weren't barking either. So I thought this is really kind of scary. So I got up and I checked the house, and I was, excuse me, um, and I was confused. I went back and laid down, and it happened again. But this time, I it felt like the spirit came up to the door and went like this to see if I was awake. And I just sat there kind of trembling, you know. I didn't want to contact my dog because I didn't want to worry her. But the dogs weren't barking. So the next day she came home, and I mentioned to her what had happened, and she said it happened to her the night before. She said, "Spirit, the dogs didn't bark." She could hear it too, you know. So finally one night I was outside and I was painting, and he came and sat next to me, and I recognized the clothes he was wearing because he used to wear them when he was younger, and I knew who it was. And so I painted everything he asked me to paint, and he gave me three messages for his mom, and so I put them on an index card, and then he wanted me to mail her the photograph, but I wanted to put a pine tree on it. He wouldn't let me, and it was all yellow. It was real pretty. He didn't want me to put trees on it at all, but I did because I like trees, and I think they're very good for the soul. So, and he showed me like where he was, and everything was yellow, so I know he's being healed. But he wouldn't show me his face. I only saw, this part. And then he became angry out of nowhere. I was like, okay, time for you to go home now, and he had to leave. But he hung around until his mother got that photograph that I painted for her, and he hopefully he's resting. So the other thing was one of the messages was a warning for her. And when I asked her about it, she said, "Oh, I hadn't opened it yet. I want to wait till I get home." Because she was here on vacation. And I couldn't get it sent out because I didn't have the money. I lost my job. So I had to wait. And so, I don't know. I haven't heard from her since. But the other thing, she felt like keeps showing me the knocking. So if you ever have knocking, um, but nobody else can hear it and your dogs aren't barking, it means it's an end of something, like an end of a relationship, an end of a job. I mean, I've heard other different meanings for it here recently, but I noticed that when it was the end of a relationship, the Lord would literally guide me. Um, do not. So, if someone, a specific person who would come up to the door, or yeah, he would tell me do not engage. So I didn't, and it turned out that person was not very nice at all. It wasn't somebody I thought they were. It's only happened to me two times. One was over a job last year, and then here in, in another apartment. And then it happened to my daughter not too long ago, another friend of mine upstairs, and then somebody else I know. But her knocking was repeatedly. It was repeated. But now her office is full of plants, and she can't run. She's gonna have to deal with it. And when they're not sure what it is, or if you're not sure, ask Father what it is, and He'll let you know. Because that's really cool about it. He knows everything, right? He sees everything too. And then, um, so after him, there was a little child. He was about this high, maybe 3 or 4 years old, maybe a little younger. And he kept coming through the hallway. I think there was an open portal in the hallway. Not really sure. I asked a neighbor. She told me I had an open portal, and so she closed it from her home. But um, but before she closed it, there was another one, another man. I don't know who he was. He just walked right on by. Poof, gone. It was like, I'm not sure what it was. But I had that little boy again. Um, a little cute kid, a little quiet. But he always passes by me, and I wonder if it's like angel form. You know what I mean? Like, is he trying to tell me I need to work on my inner child some more? Is he just with me because he feels safe here? I really don't know. Um, and then animals too. I get dogs a lot, all different colors, mostly Labradors. They're really cute. I really like those. And of course, I don't know, I just like them. Father Dylan let me speak so much, you know. But he wanted me to put this out, and I guess in a way, because it's due to my religion, and then other people, look down on that. I've given messages to people, and then um, it's helped in a lot of areas. I've been doing it throughout the years, off and on. They come and see me. I don't go looking for them. Um, but I guess we're not supposed to deny what we have, right? Because everybody has it, and then they want to flock, you know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's not easy living with something like this because we just want to do good, and love, love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Um, and I know things too all the time, like when I used to ride the bus line, and I would hear, well, I would get these like images in my mind of which directions to go home, and I'd get off and go home those directions, and I would turn on the TV, and there'd be an accident on the original bus route I was gonna take, or the bus would be like hours late, things like that. So I've learned to listen to what I'm given, because being held up somewhere and you're not familiar, it can be dangerous. So I've had those experiences too. So you just learn to listen to it. You have a gut, it's there for a purpose. Listen to it. You see the light in the sky, it's brighter than you just know that something ain't right. Or if the light clicks on a little brighter and brighter, it's letting this is the way you need to go. You're hitting it on the nose. I mean, there's a lot of confirmations that Father will give you. You just have to be open to receive them. And they're miracles. Some call them supernaturals, but it's a miracle. I was in something yesterday, and the light went on 3 times. I'm outside, and the sky is. I'm like, I saw it. I saw it. You know what I mean? You can stop. You know what I mean? So it's just really fascinating how it works. The only thing I do is meditate, and I do prayers. That's all I do. You know, it's simple. I don't have to buy all this expensive stuff. But if God guides me to a book, I purchase it and I read it. And I don't ever give anything away that I have not read, because there could be something that could hurt them, or it might be a trigger. So I just try to make sure that you know it's something that I would want to be given as a gift that's going to be helpful to me. And if it's helpful to me, it's going to help others. All right. So books are good, um, because you need references and ways to um, study for whatever Father may want you to study. But call on Him, ask Him, and He will provide that for you. He'll take you to the right place. He will. He knows. I mean, I can't tell you. He took me to a bookstore once, clear across town on a bus, to get me to that right book I needed. And then when I walked in, I just knew what it was, and I pulled it right off the shelves, and I saw it. And then I came back reading it, couldn't put it down. There's a lot of really good resources for whatever you may be going through, um, or wanting to know something specific and you can't find it, or if you're looking for a topic for school, anything like that, just take that time with Father and ask Him, and He will provide. I mean, we just went through it this morning with my daughter. She's like, I need help with something, and I told her, repent, and then ask Father for what you're looking for, and she did. And I've done it a million times. Sometimes, I'll go into a classroom on my online platforms, and boom, He starts showing me, and man, teachers go crazy over it. It's way out of the box, you know what I mean? But I like it. So it's really helpful to always include him in everything that you do. A business decision, anything, relationships, how to make your money. If you need to make a quota, pray, ask God, ask Father for that. I've done it multiple times and it's worked. Um, he's available. He can hear you. Yes, he has multiple people, but he's all seeing. He's everywhere. So there ain't nothing he can't do, and he's got plenty of heavenly helpers. So just keep that in mind. All right.